Hi garden friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Era and this is Gardening on Purpose. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I garden in Georgia, Zone 8A. It's the end of May and I went plant shopping and I got some really great deals. Let's check them out. So most of these were from Home Depot or Lowe's, but I did get a few things from Walmart. So first up, we have this beauty here. This is the Little Lime. Little Lime was at Lowe's and it's looking great actually. I just need to trim it back. You can see it has some really nice new foliage. Although you see some tattered foliage here, that's no worry at all. This guy here is Little Lime, like I said, and let's see the specs on this. This was pretty much $30, guys, and it was half off at Lowe's. Now, if you have Little Lime or you have any of those other hydrangeas that bloom white from Proven Winners, you know that they do good in the sun. This one here is hardy from zones 3 to 8. It only grows 3.5 feet tall and wide, guys. And like I said, it looks like it's going to be in a 2-gallon. And here it is, and it looks great to me. All I need to do is kind of trim this up, trim it back, and then put it back in the sun. It looks quite healthy. Also from Lowe's is this guy here. This is blackberry. I love blackberry, guys, and they seem to be needing a little bit more care than a lot of the other fruits because I don't seem to have good luck with them. I've had them, but they don't really bloom. But this guy here is the bushel and berry blackberry. This one is baby cakes. It's a rubus hybrid, and I got 2 of these. Now these, I believe, were usually $20.98. But I got them for half off, so they're going to be $10. And I'm trying to add more edible stuff to my edible garden. You guys know I do have an edible garden, and I do have a lot of squash and watermelon and corn and beans and stuff, but I don't have a lot of berries, and I love berries. I do have strawberries, and I do have blueberries, which have fruited for me. But these guys here, they say they are self-fruiting, but of course, you need more than one sometimes to actually make more yield. Now, this doesn't look bad at all, guys. This is what it looks like. This is what some of the berries look like. I just need to cut this out to kind of freshen it up a little bit more. And this guy here, it grows 3 to 4 feet rounded. And it is hardy from zones 4 to 8, and it requires full sun. Let me know if you have this guy here, bushel and berry blackberry baby cakes. So I got 2 of those from Lowe's. Also from Lowe's were some butterfly bush. Now, did I need butterfly bush? No. But was the sale good? Yes. So this was going to be a 2-gallon. This is the Pugster Pinker, and it's a dwarf. And butterflies really love this, as do hummingbirds. So these don't grow that tall, guys. And again, it's Proven Winners, so you can see that it only grows 2 to 3 feet tall, which is perfect. I can actually put it in one of my garden beds. Now, I do have Pugster Periwinkle, and I just bought Amethyst also on clearance the other day, so I was happy to pick this guy up. Also, so there's 2 of those actually. So with these, what I'm going to do is, you can see a lot of the first blooms have bloomed. So all I have to do is cut these off to give this plant a chance to bloom again. It's a butterfly bush, which means it's going to bloom for me all the way down to late October into November. And if I don't cut these off, then the plant will grow stagnant and it won't grow, it won't bloom. Butterfly bushes need to be pruned. They need new growth to bloom. So I'm very happy to report that I got 2 of the Pugster Pinker. These were in a 2-gallon. So those were from Lowe's. What else did I get from Lowe's? Here's a salvia. It doesn't tell me what type of salvia. It just says Salvia Duo, which means there's two salvias in here. I don't know if it's 2 of the same type of salvia. I would think so, but this one is usually only $16.98, so I really only paid $8 for it. And it has, like I said, it has two plants very distinctly in here, so you don't have to hack at it. You just take it out and separate it. I love salvias because they do really great in my yard. The butterflies love it, the bees love it, and the hummingbirds love them. So I'm always looking to find different type of salvias. I have many in my yard, but because it was only $8 and you're getting two plants for that, I figured I'd pick it up. The other thing I got from Lowe's was this guy here. This is a lantana, and this is the annual lantana. It doesn't really give me a name. It just says lantana, which means it won't come back for me. But I'm really trying to entice the hummingbirds in this yard. Even though I do get a lot of hummingbirds, I feel like I need more because I just love them so much. Now, this is a 6-pack of lantana that I'm going to put in a container and put closer. A lot of the plants that are for the hummingbirds are not as close to the bench in the back. So when I see a hummingbird, I have to get my phone and I have to zoom in and catch them. You know, they're pretty fast. So I'm going to try to put a container closer to me, even though they might still run away. I have a better chance of getting a really good picture, a really good video of a hummingbird if I make a container with this guy. So that's why I bought a 6-pack of this lantana. So the idea is to make 2 containers of plants that are specifically geared towards the hummingbird. This guy here, again, is an annual for me. It's a tropical plant. It was $10.98 at Lowe's. I was really surprised. I went to Walmart to buy some soil and some potting mix. And I was so surprised that they had some clearance plants. Now, they do have clearance plants, but they are pretty much dead. So I really don't know why they even call it the clearance section, because those plants are a goner. But today, for whatever reason, they had some decent looking ones, and these were only $2. Now these, they did have hydrangeas. They did have some really rough looking salvias, but I didn't really want those. Again, I'm working on some planters right now, so I got me a couple of annuals. So they had the wave petunia, and for me, you know, at first I used to not really like petunia, but when I like this brand of petunia, the wave petunia seems to do better than the regular petunia that I see in the store. So these are gonna be only $2. These were usually $5.47 for an annual, and I know it's a lot of money for an annual, and a lot of folks just don't buy annuals, or they just wait for the annuals to, or they plant their own stuff, they plant their own seeds. But for me, I got this here, $2 for this wave petunia. Now they do have this purple, and they do have this pink. And since it was only $2, I picked it up. I mean, what can it hurt? It's going to last all the way down until we get our first frost. So $2 in the grand scheme of things is not that bad. I was also happy to see that they have one of my favorite annuals. You guys know I'm a fan of lobelia. This guy here was $2. And again, it is the Better Home and Garden brand from Walmart. And they look great. I have them in a container already created, but again, more stuff for the pollinators. I got 3 of the lobelia. And then surprisingly, I picked up these guys too. This one here is a Proven Winners Impatient. And what is the name of this one? The tag is over the name. I think it's called something Rose. I don't really know the names of these. Okay, it's Rockapulco Rose, and this is a Impatient from Proven Winners. These were $2. These were usually, I believe, $5.97. Yeah, $5.97, and now they're $2. This is something I have to put closer to the house where it actually has the hangover from the house that is in shade. So that's why I bought those. I have an idea for a plant I'm going to make. So I was really surprised because usually, like I said, my Walmart, even though my Walmart comes through for me generally, they don't come through when it comes to clearance. And it's very rare you see plants that actually are viable at that Walmart. But I think I can work with these because I've already seen that it's already bloomed. All I have to do is cut this back to have it generate a few more blooms. And again, these will only last until the frost. So in the grand scheme of things, $2 was no big deal for me, guys. Let me know if you have found clearance plants from your Walmart and what the quality of it is. All right, guys, finally the plants that I got from Home Depot. Home Depot has a 2 for $12 perennial sale on certain type of plants, on the Vigoro, the 2-quart Vigoros. So I grabbed these beauties here. Now I bought them 2 years ago, and I have them in under a tree closer to the front yard, guys. But I like these plants so much because they go really, really well in the front, and they go really, really well with red or blue or anything on the opposite spectrum of this. This is a Corabelle, also known as a heuchera, and this is lemon lime. These were 2 for $12, so only $6 for the 2-quart. So I got 2, 4, 6, 8 of them because I want to put them in the front yard, and you could see a video coming up about that. Also from Home Depot was this. This was also 2 for $12. This is a bee balm. I have the Pocahontas red. This is the Pocahontas purple. And even in the store, even in the cart, even in the car, this bee was following me. I'm not sure if it's the same bee, but the bees have been following me ever since I put this thing in my cart, guys. Pocahontas deep purple. This guy here blooms early to late summer. It grows 10 to 14 inches high, and it is hardy to -20. It is an absolute beauty, guys, and so is the red one. I might put one in the front and then one in the back, but as you know, I've officially run out of space in the backyard anyway, so I don't even know what I'm gonna do with this one. I might put it in a container, we'll see. But that was a really good deal because these are usually pretty much $9. So these are gonna be $6 each. Let me know if you have bee balm in your yard and which bee balm you have. Because they're really great for pollinators. I'm always looking for plants that the pollinators love, guys. So that was from Home Depot. Also from Home Depot were 2 more coleus. Now, could you believe, guys, I actually went to the store. I should have done this earlier and bought some coleus seeds. And I'm still going to plant those coleus seeds. But in the meantime, I need to make another container. So I bought this beauty here, and you saw it in one of my earlier videos. This is the Ruby Sparkle coleus. This is going to get even more red, guys, because they had this at that Home Depot, and it was red, and people just grabbed these things, and then they weren't there, and all of a sudden now they brought it back, and it looks a little bit more muted, and that's because it's not getting the amount of sun that it needs, because this can take a little bit more sun to make it even more red. So that is a beauty. And then this one, I believe, is lemon lime. Let me see. Electric lime. Yeah, that's what that is. And that would go good with that one, as you can see on different parts of the spectrum. So that again is for my black urn pots in the back. I also picked up these Perennials. These are also pollinators. These are annuals though. So the coleus is an annual. The Perennial is an annual for me. It does reseed. So even though the original plant won't come back, this guy here might give you some free ones next year. So that's that for this area here. Finally, I have these guys here, which is a salvia. This is an annual salvia, though. All of the salvias I have in my yard are perennial, but these guys are loved by the hummingbirds. And again, I'm trying to get them to come to the yard more often and come back, and remember to come back over and over again. And I know that this plant is one of the best plants for them because they like plants that are shaped this way, and they like red. So that's the idea behind getting this. This was from Home Depot for only $1.98, so I got me 3 of them, guys. So those are the plants that I got today, guys. A bunch of clearance plants, perennial markdowns, and some full price annuals. Butterfly bush, proven winners. Pugster periwinkle, great deal. Blackberry, great deal for $10. This Pocahontas deep purple bee balm, I can't wait for that to get in the ground because I know the bees are gonna love it. Of course, you can never go wrong with a lime hydrangea. This is little lime hydrangea. And again, I don't know what type of salvia this is, but it's no big deal. I just remember when I'm doing my videos to remember that's a no-named salvia. Let me just double check to make sure, because sometimes I'm thinking it's not a named thing and then it's obvious. It just says salvia duo. Yeah, doesn't have a name. Okay, And then, of course, I'll let you know how the containers go with these annual guys here. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know how your clearance shopping is going. It's full swing. It is the end of May. Your stores should be packed with a lot of plants right now. This is prime season. We're about to head into June. Let me know what you think, guys. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. Remember to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted on all my new videos. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.